Thank you for being here at Mr. Super Oz. This video is going out, and this channel only exists because I, Oz, founded Gamble Comics, which first release was Everlasting Survivors, a 68-page graphic novel called All Day Long. Available now. Follow the link in the description that will take you to gamblecomics.com. While there, you can get hats, shirts, posters, much more, but most importantly, the story itself. Coming soon from Gamble Comics, BC Brute. Orlando, Florida, the home of NXT in real life.
In the future.
Yes, in the future.
I'm about to say we got 20 years.
Yeah, 6/12 of 2003. This Smackdown opens with the man who will be challenging Brock Lesnar this weekend at Bash at the Beach. Speaking of that, Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar are already at ringside. Paul is
punctual, like that.
Paul's got the headset on. He's talking to his boy Taz. He's cutting off Michael Cole. He's like, "We don't even need you here, Cole. This is ECW all day." So Paul talks about how that Rey Mysterio, who he discovered and brought into ECW, although technically Conan,
No. It was all Heyman.
Conan helped make it happen, but which is funny because Conan actually has ties to Rey Mysterio's opponent in this match from the Wolfpack, that being Big Daddy Cool Kevin Nash. So Rey is continuing down his taking on men much bigger than himself path. And this is a match that Rey is quite familiar with because this is the opponent that took his mask from him in World Championship Wrestling.
Still one of the worst decisions I've ever seen in my entire life.
It's so funny. So, when growing up, my sister had a thing for Juventud Guerrera and Rey Mysterio because when they were masked wrestlers, she didn't care. But as soon as they were unmasked wrestlers, she was like, "Oh, hello."
Filthy animals.
Exactly. Oh, you filthy animals. And so I always thought that was funny that while, yes, they lost out on merchandising potential, they definitely gained a different audience perspective when the...
Never thought of it that way.
Yes, it was only because of her excitement that it even crossed my mind. But I was like, oh yeah, you are opening up possibilities for an alternative.
I guess that fits the lucha tradition of every masked wrestler being the most handsome man you've ever met in your life.
Isn't that weird? Because like Andrade, for instance, right? La Sombra, you take off that mask, it's like, what are you doing? Like Oosh. This... Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That dude's... It's crazy.
What's his name? Santos Escobar.
Yeah, Santos Escobar.
Yeah.
I think maybe and I mean no offense when I say this, but I think maybe one of the exceptions to the rule, I feel like, is Psychosis.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like he's one of those guys that's like, I mean,
he just looks tough.
You just look like you're a tough dude.
Yeah.
Definitely not
you look
pretty
like
boy.
You look like you fight for a living.
Exactly. But Rey Mysterio retains Paul, who had been...
Getting that get back for WCW Ray.
Exactly. Not only does he keep his title, he keeps his mask.
Excellent. As long as Kevin Nash didn't tear his quads, I said we had a good day.
Exactly. So, Paul, who was putting Ray over on commentary, he pats Brock on the chest, says, "Just stay here." Paul gets the ring. He raises Ray's hand. Wow. He says, "It's going to be a good show. Come Bash at the Beach." So, we in that segment, and because, that's a good way to roll a break.
And listen, anytime Rey Mysterio's getting his props, I'm all for it.
So, after we come back, Billy Kidman is in the ring for the unfortunate position of, oh no, this guy's got a name value, but I'm pretty sure he's losing this match.
Yeah.
And it gets further clarified when Matt Cappotelli makes his way out to the ring, because again, the kid's on a roll, won Tough Enough, won his first match, won his second match, didn't win third, but wins fourth.
Better, he's on a roll.
Yeah, exactly. He's Matt Cappotelli beats Billy Kidman here to keep up his momentum.
Was that a 6 win so far?
I think 6th match, 5th win, something like that. But regardless, it's like, yeah, I mean, he's young, he's pretty, he's athletic.
He's everything you want in a wrestler.
He's got to be winning now because he ain't got nothing. He's ain't got no time.
About to say, not too much future.
So after the match, we see Mr. McMahon. He's in the back, and he's checking out Dawn Marie.
Yeah, Lord. Okay.
No one knows why Vince decided to come back at King of the Ring, and as he's being very Vince-like, and what I mean by that is inappropriate because it's very
we know what Vince-like is.
He gets bumped into by the Regal counter threat, and the funny thing about this encounter is Vince knows William Regal didn't win King of the Ring, but we're not entirely convinced William Regal knows that he didn't win King of the Ring, because he and his underlings are all acting as though he's still the
king,
the end all be all, the king. Yeah, Vince, who's always been a big fan of Shawn Michaels,
of course, yeah,
he basically considers Regal loco at this point, and he leaves the Regal counter threat, also leaving behind Dawn Marie, and he goes towards Stephanie's office. So, that's just...
Oh, yeah, right. His
daughter who's running the show,
runs the show, yeah.
And so...
not gonna lie, I did forget that for like 2 seconds.
Sure.
Stephanie's office.
When we first started this, she was the person managing or booking Smackdown. It's just...
She still is.
She still is. My point is she's just not exactly the Eric Bischoff type to always interject into storylines.
She's also very young in this point of her career, so she didn't need all that TV time.
Yeah. Well, and the fact is, the reason I'm having him... We'll save that.
There you go.
So Bradshaw is taking on the Hurricane, and while the match is going on, Farouk, Rodney Mack, and Teddy Long are on the outside checking out things, making sure, moving kids out of the way, and the crowd like, are you hiding somebody back there? And Bradshaw...
We have one of them pick up a kid, shake him.
Exactly, yeah. No match to be found.
All right.
And actually, that throughout the match, Bradshaw's trying to take Hurricane's mask off, and he pushed him away. He's like, "What's up with that?" and so Hurricane ends up winning this match when the masked attackers beat down Rodney Mack and Farouk, because Bradshaw is attempting to work his way out of the ring when Hurricane grabs Bradshaw, drops him with his finish, and gets the 3 count.
Nice.
Thankfully, and I'm going to say this in a very questioning way, thankfully, the attackers don't touch Teddy Long, but it's one of those things where it's like, oh, does this mean something?
Do they not touch Teddy Long just because they're nice guys, or what does this mean?
Yeah, exactly. And so that's important for the, again, following the breadcrumbs.
For sure.
And realistically, I just don't want to hurt Teddy. I like
Teddy. I'm about to say, I like Teddy, yeah.
But it's one of those things where it's like, does this mean something? It's kind of like the whodunit with Bianca Belair. It's like, oh, we saw Raquel and Liv. Did they do it?
Did they look at them sideways? They sure did. Let's find out in Elimination Chamber. No.
Yeah, exactly. So after that, we get the Stephanie entering her office, and she sees that Vince has his feet kicked up on her desk, and she's like, "Dad, what are you doing here?" He's like, "Baby girl, I'm the only reason this place is around. I made WrestleMania, I made Hulkamania."
And she's like, "That's what's up, but Mick's still president." So.
Exactly, yeah. Mick's president. Dad, you haven't been around since... You haven't even been a part of Alpha and Terra Worldwide. What are you doing? He's like,
in fact, I think this is your second time showing up on the show.
And so, anyway, it's just to establish what their dynamic is here.
Yeah.
And so, just like with Billy Kidman, when we head to the ring, Hugh Morris is standing there waiting.
Nice.
But the reason for that is He retires from active competition in 2 days. So, Hugh Morris, or Bill DeMont, retires from active competition on 6/14 of 2003.
I don't know what I said before, but I was definitely wrong.
And so, well, I think you said a few months, but still, it was in this year.
Yeah.
Um,
I think I forgot what month it was. I think it was
Probably. So Bill Goldberg and Hugh Morris are actual real life competitors with the original streak.
Right.
And so I can show you what they've really already done, but the difference between what happened in real life and what happens here is Matt Hardy, Crash Holly, and Shannon Moore are outside throughout the contest. And as Goldberg gets the victory, Matt Hardy grabs the microphone and says, "At the Bash of the Beach, you're next."
Ooh.
Because Matt Hardy just sees himself on that level of...
Which he is. I mean, he's Matt Hardy, one of the greatest of all time.
I mean, legitimately, I always thought Matt Hardy was tops.
I'm about to say that wasn't a joke. I was being dead serious.
Yeah. And so, in our match main event, this is probably something that should have gone on before Bill and Hugh, but whatever. I make outlandish decisions sometimes. So Maven Huffman loses to Zach Gowen.
Oh, cool.
When Rook Nowinski ensures that Maven doesn't win, because again, I was trying
title match.
I was trying to do smoke and mirrors when it comes to Zach, and pretty much anybody who is not exactly majorly experienced.
Competition.
Well, that's great, but what I meant was that with lacking experience.
Yeah, he's young. Yeah, I get you.
So the end segment, because that was the last match, the end segment is Hogan furiously brother in the ring, calling out Vince, saying at Bash to the Beach, "Brother, I'm gonna prove to you, brother, blah blah blah, Hulkamania, WrestleMania, Vince-a-mania, whatever."
Drop.
And so
1, 2, 3.
So Vince doesn't come into the ring. He just stands on the apron and he's cocky like Vince is, and Hogan is blood boiling.
And nothing like two terrible people talking to each other. It's great.
And so so we go off with the promotion of Matt Hardy and Goldberg set up for the pay-per-view. Nice. Vince McMahon and Hulk Hogan set up for the pay-per-view. Rey Mysterio and Brock Lesnar set up for the pay-per-view. So those are the big known commodities.
Nice.
And here's the other thing. So I'm just going to spoil this because I like it so much. Remember how Rook Nowinski cost Matt Capitelli his match with Zach Gowen?
Yeah.
So I take that back.
Kidding.
He cost Maven a match with Zach Gowen. So Zach Gowen, being a stand-up guy, I probably shouldn't have said it that way. Zach Gowen, being a good babyface,
yeah, there you go,
offers
that sounds better.
Matt Capitelli and Maven Huffman both cruiserweight title matches at Bash at the Beach because of the fact that he knows.
Wait, so 2 cruiserweight title matches or one?
One triple threat. Okay. Yeah, and so
my just want to clarify.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's showing that I know that you guys have both been given hard times. I know what hard times are all about. I want to be there.
Rose all of a sudden.
What I mean is, he beat cancer. He lost his leg. But he's like, you guys are getting the rug pulled out from under you. I want to help you out. Type thing.
I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, and so I don't know. Like I said, it wasn't done on the show, but it's gonna happen backstage or pre-show type thing, leading into Bash at the Beach. And I don't know. I just thought that was good stuff when it comes to baby faces doing babyface type things.
That's what we love to see here.